going on? Thursday. I think today is the 4th of May. Tomorrow will be Friday, Cinco de Mayo. Welcome to my studio. It's Mike McFarland here, the Lake Fork Fishing Guide. Going to give you a little report for this weekend. Things are shaping up on Fork a lot compared to where we were the month of April. April was all about spawning. If you weren't looking at them, you weren't catching them. There wasn't much of a bite, so to speak, out there. Well, there's now becoming a bite. There really is. It's not everywhere, and it's not 2 days in a row in the same place, but it's basically shad spawn bite. Typically, the shad will spawn on the red clay points and shell beds, shallow shells and reefs and things in the main lake. They're not doing that this year because there's so much cover in the backwaters. So you kind of got to go running and gunning. You got to go looking. The birds will help you dial in, the blue herons and the white egrets. And then there's so much shad everywhere. There's not fish on everything at this time. It's one of the first times ever that I've actually pulled on lots of blue herons multiple times and not caught bass. But if I get in the right spot where the bass are, they're starting to school up. For example, I had 10 fish on Monday and only 1 on Tuesday. Yesterday, again, another dozen opportunities, and 4, 5, 6 pound fish schooling, where when they blow up on the shad, you see them coming out of the water, and you see their backs, and instead of onesie twosies or a bite here and a bite every 20 yards of running bank, it was one key location. I can give you a few tips if you'll find shallow water next to deep water. And when I say deep water, I mean 6 to 8 feet next to 2 feet. Those edges seem to be better. And then, of course, so many ways to catch them. When you fish a shad spawn, top waters are great. Walking, popping, buzz baits, jerk baits, soft fluke jerk baits, bass assassins, underspins, Cincos, stuff like that. It's just about being in the right spot. When the fish are really fired up eating shad, they're so keyed in and triggered up and worked up at that time. You can catch them on a lot of things. The one bait that I'm finding is not in the equation this year that almost always is for the shad spawn, and that is the square bill. And there's 2 reasons why. Number one, the main reason is that the areas that the shad are spawning is in the heavy junk and debris, the flooded stuff that grew when the lake was low. And the crankbaits just don't go through that. Neither do the top waters that hang treble hooks. So if you're, for example, doing walking top waters, you can fish the edges of the heavy flooded cover, but you can't fish in it. So keep that in mind. That's a little tip right there. To fish through the junk, you got to have something weedless, okay? But again, watch for the shad spawn. I've seen them. I've literally seen small groups of shad spawning around a tree stump, a big tree still standing in 6 feet of water, and the whole tree is surrounded with shad swirling all around it. They're dumping their eggs. The eggs will stick to the tree stump. Secondary points are pretty good, but the main lake points in the main body just doesn't seem to have it. Not yet. Water temperatures are getting up there, 68 to 72. Clarity 0 to 1, 402. We're even 1 foot below full pool. Doesn't look like we really have anything in the forecast to change that. Maybe next week. There's a 50-50 chance all week long of some rain. Don't see anything substantial that would change lake levels. And at this point, I don't know that we really need to or don't. I like the lake to be full pool when we roll into May, especially June and July. I think that full pool in the deeper water holes work better on Lake Fork. For example, last year when it was 6 feet low, if you had a hump that you normally would fish that was in 20 feet of water, it's now 14 feet of water because the lake was 6 feet low. The fish didn't use those locations. So I do like the fact that we're up. Very soon we'll be into a jig bite, a shaky head bite, a big worm bite, and a post-spawn bite. But I will tell you that they're not really visiting those deeper post-spawn holes yet. Most of the fish are staying back in the cover, staying in the junk. The post-spawn fish will not pull out until this water starts reaching mid to upper 70s. Okay, so you won't find them on humps, reefs, shell beds, and things until we're at the 76, 78, 80 degree mark. They're going to stay back in the backwaters. Okay, spinnerbait, that's also another really good one. I probably, hindsight, I bet I probably could have busted out a spinnerbait the past few days and probably caught some fish. Cloud cover, remember gold blades on whatever you're doing. You underspin, gold blades, you get more bites. For some reason in cloud cover, the gold flashes more. And that's it. I'm hoping here that I give you some information. Publicly, a lot of times I want to help you. I do want to help you. We have almost 4,000 subscribers. I really want to help you. I have about 250 private members that we do a members only rundown that we really give the goods to. And so respectively, I got to hold the juice for those guys, but I do want to make sure you guys are catching fish. So a couple more tips there. Frogs, frog bite is on. You can do that. If you really like to throw frogs, a white frog and a black frog right now, and again, just cover water. Don't go all the way backs in the coves. Halfway backs, a lot of the legs, the outside legs of pockets and coves, those are good places. And definitely don't be afraid to go all the way up Birch Creek. Don't be afraid to go all the way up in the back of Board Tree, or all the way up in McGee Bay and Lake Fork Creek. Don't be afraid. Go exploring. Get up there a little bit more. The more north you are, the more post-spawn the fish are. And there you go. There's some decent information for you publicly. If you want to know a little more information, again, as always, I'm going to invite you again to come be a member. It's real simple. Look in the description below this video, and you'll find a join section. You'll find a link to join. You can be a regular member, or you can be an upgraded Let's Talk Fishing member, where you get even more videos and lessons. But thank you guys so much for your original free public subscription. I'm super grateful. Hit the like button, comment below, share your pictures with me. If you're having some good luck or something I do works for you, send it 602-826-1524. If you're looking to fish with me, I've only got a few days left in May, and May is usually a great jig bite. Once this really turns the tables here in the next 10 days, we're going to get deep and get offshore. We're going to have a jig bite, shaky head bite, a shell bed bite. You want to learn about shell beds, how to find them, how to fish them, how to set up on them? Get a booking with me. I got 3 days left in May, 3 or 4, I think, max. And then June. June is half full at this point now. So the latter half of June is open. If you want to fish with me, I'd love to have you. Mike McFarland, the Lake Fork Guide.